Hello everyone. Well, let me do a quick review of before exam 3. We did it in class, but I thought I maybe can do a little bit more. I'll try to be as fast as possible, so no promises, but I hope I'll be done in 30 minutes. Yeah, here comes our exam number 3. And a quick reminder, if you want to know what is covered, then you just go to our DTL page, to my posts, and just go down the list. So you click on not assignments, what is it? Announcements. Yeah, those are announcements. You click on announcements, and that brings you to the whole list of my posts since the very beginning of this class. And if you go down the list, you'll see like the post for the exam, post for review. In fact, a reminder that cell phones will not be allowed in the exam, so please make sure you keep it in mind and bring a calculator, because you will need to crunch some numbers. Nothing terribly complicated, but dividing, adding, subtracting, and multiplying, this is what you need. All right, and then if you go down the list, you'll see what we've done since after exam 2, because this is what's going to be covered. We had cost curves covered, right? And this is what actually I asked you to do before class. There is a video. In fact, it's a new one, updated one. It's shorter, and I'll talk about it in a minute. Actually, before I forget, yeah, let me tell you that I strongly recommend you to, well, if not watch the whole thing, because if you watch the original version, which was longer, so it's already a good thing. So I wouldn't say you must watch the whole thing, even though not a bad idea, because it's just another way, it's another explanation of the stuff. So it's not exactly the same. You might learn something new. But most importantly, here it is. There is like one part of it which I strongly recommend you to take a closer look at. And in fact, you can get to it by clicking on this time stamp here, and it says 21 minutes 25 seconds. This is where I got to it. So it's an example of marginal cost and marginal product of labor moving in the opposite directions. And this is actually, oops, all right, something not related, but this is, there was only one comment by me, and I put some timestamps. So if you click on it, it will take you to this particular section. So again, make sure you watch this piece, because I don't think I did anything like that in my previous video, in the previous version. All right, so now back to our calendar or posts. You can call it an outline of our class. Let's see, review for exam. Why I'm here already? Oh, okay, well, I didn't expect to be so far down, but yeah, in fact, here we're at exam 2, which of course, I mean, it's over. And if you go up from here, you will see what we've done after that. And again, everything here described in detail, so you know what to read, what to watch. And most importantly, I would say, not most importantly, but one of the very important things here are in-class assignments. So definitely go over your in-class assignments, make sure you understand like everything works, and make sure you'll be able to solve problems of this sort, I mean, really well, because definitely I can tell you one thing: you'll see questions and kind of problems that are similar to in-class assignments. I mean, we worked on them in class, so I don't want this information to get wasted. All right, so negative externalities, then we talked about positive externalities. Where is it? Yeah, positive externalities, again in class assignment. We'll assign reading, video, and then going up, public goods, again attached in class assignment. video to watch. And then moving up, economic profit and short-run production. And then moving up, cost curves. So that was our last topic, and that will be covered. So 5 topics generally. All right. So if now we go back to our slides, I can probably just write something down for you. So make sure again, in-class assignments, 13, I believe, or was it 14? Well, going back, let's do backward. The last one was 17, so 16, 15. 15 was public goods, 14 was positive externalities, and yeah, 13 was negative externalities. So 5 assignments to go over, and again, make sure you understand them well. Go over homework assignments, okay? Again, 13 through 17. Make sure that you remember how to answer those questions, and again, most importantly, make sure that you understand what these questions are about. I mean, you can try memorizing questions themselves. I guess it's a good start, but our goal in this class, to understand what is behind those questions, not the questions themselves. Homework assignments. These are in-class assignments. Again, watching tutorials, it's up to you. I would say not a bad idea. Speaking of the material, again, so what did we do? We did negative externalities, right? So you need to understand the story of marginal external cost, right? How it transfers into marginal social cost, and how to find allocative efficiency when using this curve, right? And then be able to calculate deadweight loss resulting from inefficiency when market stays where it wants to be, right? Again, I won't get into too many details. You need to figure it out by, again, reviewing your notes and all this material that we used when learning this stuff. Okay, so make sure you go into assignment number 13 and just do it over. Yeah, not a bad idea. Do it over. Just maybe print it out again and do it from scratch. You can just pretty much, as you're working in, maybe you will realize what to put on that formula sheet. Remember, you can have like a formula sheet. Okay, so do over in-class assignments. Great idea. Okay. Yeah, and just this way you will see what you will need on this, on this formula sheet. Okay, what else? Yeah, basically this stuff. Of course, you also need to know how this inefficiency can be corrected, right? So deadweight loss results from inefficiency. And remember, it's about if it's negative externality, then we're dealing with overproduction. So overproduction in case of negative production, in case of negative externalities, and of course underproduction in case of positive externalities. And then you need to remember what possible solutions for this problem exist, right? So we talked about taxes. You need to know what tax should be equal to. Quick reminder, it should be equal to marginal external cost at the point of allocative efficiency. Okay, so basically, if this is your supply, demand, or actually it's marginal private cost, marginal private benefit, then we're talking about negative externalities, right? Then that will be your marginal social benefit, and of course it's cost. So that's the point of allocative efficiency, and you figure out your tax just as the size of your marginal external cost at again at the point of allocative efficiency. Okay, it's tempting to get to get into going this stuff over again, but again, it's in my videos. All right, so really good idea. Just to find time, we still have several days. Just go over the stuff. And that was the story of negative externalities. Then we have positive externalities, right? That would be class 14, positive externalities. And then again, you have marginal external benefit in this case. You should be able to figure out how to get marginal social benefit. Then find the point of allocative efficiency, figure out what dead weight loss is if we don't do anything to correct this market, because remember, it will just stay at the market equilibrium and will ignore this external benefit, and that in this case we will have underproduction, right? And then you should know how to correct this problem. Remember, there were vouchers and there were subsidies. Okay, so again, look at the in-class assignment number 14 and recall how it's being done. All right, so 15, these were public goods, and here you have to recall the story of terms like rivalry, right? Excludability, it's a long word, right? Excludability. And you need to understand what makes goods rival, what makes them excludable, and accordingly non-rival or non-excludable. And then there is like 4 possible combinations of these characteristics, right? Which gives you 4 types of goods. You may recall that we talked about public goods, private goods, natural monopoly goods, and common resources. All right, make sure you understand what they are. 4 types of goods. And then make sure you know how to figure out the efficient provision of public goods. So you need to figure out efficient provision of a public good. Again, we did it in our in-class assignment number 15, right? Just look into it. Again, ideally, just redo it with close notes. Maybe have your cheat sheet with you. This way you will know what you need to put on this cheat sheet. But remember, it's only one side of a standard paper sheet, so you cannot just make it too long. All right, so this is a public goods story. Then we had the story of economic profit, and that included implicit and explicit cost, right? Implicit costs and explicit cost. Again, look at your notes, look at the video, maybe look in the book, and most importantly, make sure you look in class assignment number 17. All right. Yeah, it's all there. And then we also talk about, actually in this class we talked about production, right? So production, short-run production. So you have to remember what short run means versus long run. So short run versus long run. Then we talked about something called production function, right? So production function, very important function, very important curve that in fact is a foundation for all those cost curves that we talked about later. Okay, so this is how it's supposed to look like, right? And make sure that again you understand the meaning of this curve. It connects quantity and labor. Actually, my bad, the other way around, of course. Connects, well, quantity and labor being on the horizontal axis. And remember, there were two very important sections on this curve. One is, okay, maybe I won't even tell you. Look in your notes, recall what these two areas are. They're very important. So make sure you understand and remember the concept of marginal product of labor, right? Know how to calculate it. Again, in class assignment number 17 will help you to do that. Yeah, that should be mostly it. Again, in class assignment, homework assignment number 17, it applies to all topics. And yeah, we have practice quizzes, right? So actually you can do those practice quizzes, which basically will be redoing your homework assignments. And you will see how you will do. All right, and the last topic we covered was the story of cost curves. Okay, so again, we have in-class assignment to help you learn. And we have homework assignment number 17, again to help you learn, especially if you do practice quizzes. Practice quizzes. Well, quiz in this case, particularly quiz number 17. All right, and well, there we had a whole bunch of those curves, right? So you need to know how to actually deal with those curves, and also you need to know everything we discussed when talking about fixed cost, variable cost, total cost, and then marginal cost, very important parameter. And you need to know formula for each of them, and then you also should be able to calculate average total cost, average variable cost, and average fixed cost. Okay, and you should remember how those curves work, right? I'll give you a very quick review of what they were. So this is of course fixed cost, right? That was variable cost curve, right? And then a curve that would be pretty much the same thing, only shifted up by the amount of fixed cost will be total cost curve. All right, and then you need to also understand how we can see those ATC, AVC, and AFC on this graph. And that has something to do with the slopes, right? Actually, also marginal cost. Remember, marginal cost is basically the slope of either of these two curves. And average cost also can be seen as slopes, but those will be slopes of lines that connect the origin of our graph, which is 0, right, to the point where we're looking at. So basically, if you're interested in figuring out or seeing average cost, total average total or total variable cost at this Q, so what you can do, you can just draw a line from 0 to this point, right? And then slope of this line will be actually AVC, and slope of this line will be your ATC. All right. So, and there was other stuff about it. So make sure you watch my video related to this discussion, because I know it's a bit tricky, and I know that these types of questions related to this story in the homework assignment didn't go too well. So you definitely need to review it and make sure you understand how it works. We talked about it in class, but again, I feel that you guys definitely will benefit from reviewing it again. All right, and as I already mentioned, there is a story of the relationship between marginal product of labor and marginal cost. Okay, or in other words, relationship between increasing marginal returns and decreasing marginal returns versus how marginal cost behaves. Again, I won't go over it right now. It's all in my video. Yeah, the last video has timestamps, so I probably will add few more to make it easier for you to kind of navigate around it. But yeah, it's up to you now to review the material and make sure that you do well on this exam, because yeah, if you are not doing as well as you wanted to do, this is basically your last chance. I mean, exam 3 plus the final, if you do well on those, you have really good chances to improve your grade in this class. But if you don't do well on number 3, then pulling out, I mean, by doing better on the final, will be very, very challenging. All right, one more thing that I almost forgot to mention. It's not in homework assignments, not in in-class assignments, but it is in the video, the very last part of it. So make sure you watch it. I'll make a timestamp to make it easier for you to get to it if you don't watch the whole thing or want to watch the exact story of this diagram. And it's basically about being able to figure out these variables, total cost, variable cost, and fixed cost, while using these, in fact, two curves. You only need ATC and AVC to figure out these three, right? Okay, I won't go any further because it is in the video, so please make sure you watch it and be prepared to answer questions related to the story. Again, good luck, study hard, and do well on the exam. See you soon. Bye-bye.